In this video, we're going to talk about my experience as team driving for Pride Transport. Keep in mind that this is team driving, not solo driving. I cannot speak for solo drivers, but I have spoken to them personally, and I can maybe share a little bit here in a moment about what they are saying about solo driving. But this is my personal experience, team driving with my partner. So let's jump right in and start sharing with you what it's like to team drive with Pride Transport, but keep in mind also that it's going to give you a feel of dispatch, the customer base, and just how overall Pride Transport operates on the teaming side. As far as the mileage, I have good weeks and bad weeks when we are out here team driving. We can reach 5,500 to close to 6,000 miles sometimes per week. And the way Pride pays those miles are you earn on all the miles on the truck, and they have a CPM that they give you and you split. And so you are paid all the miles in the truck, and each driver is paid a split. In contrast to this, sometimes we have very bad weeks like 2,000 to 3,000 miles per week. And I believe that's because of the poor planning sometimes by the planners in dispatch. Unfortunately, you do find that in all companies, but more often I have seen it here in my experience in team driving. And that could be due to a lot of things. Poor planning. It could be due to maybe the customer base is not as strong as they would like it to be. A broker freight. All these things play a factor in making or breaking your week. And I know when you're out here sacrificing as teams, team driving, you're sacrificing your sleep, your energy, time away from home, and you want to be compensated, on a weekly basis, consistently being paid properly for those miles and that sacrifice. But I have seen here in my experience that it does not happen every week. This is the real truth, the real experience. This is personal to me. I don't know about other team drivers, but we do have bad weeks, 2,000-3,000 miles, and we wish those weeks were better. But I believe once again that is due to maybe some mismanagement of planning. And these could be due to things like waiting too long at a shipper. And right now I'm at a customer. I've been here for like 6 hours, and that can hurt your mileage. As truck drivers, we know that we don't want to be waiting around 6 to 8 hours at a stop, because that cuts into the miles that we could be driving down the road. So there can be many factors, many reasons, but I have been here almost a year team driving, and I have seen a pattern. Good weeks are great, we love those, but more bad weeks that I've seen, possibly due to, again, the planning, the organization, customer base, and so on. Now, as far as solo driving, some drivers are telling me that they are getting about 2,500 to 3,000 miles per week. And that's not too bad. I mean, that's kind of where we want to be as a solo driver. But of course, the pay has to be there as well. Now, if you have 3 years or less, it could be a good deal for you to work for Pride. They come in at 57 cents per mile, and that could be good for maybe people less than a year. But you and I both know that as truck drivers, when you start hitting that 1 year mark or even 2 year mark, a lot more options open up, and you can make a lot better than 57 cents per mile. So maybe Pride Transport is for you if you're just starting out, coming out of school, maybe have 4 to 6 months. It could be a good deal for you. But as a more experienced driver, it may not, because if you have 2-3 years experience, again, you have a lot more options. You could be making 60 to 65 cents or more, or even more in some companies, just depending on the nature of the work. It really comes down to customer base. And one of the customers here in Utah behind me that we have is Lineage. And of course, we had a 6:30 p.m. appointment, but we've been here since 2 o'clock and still have not hit the dock. There was a truck driver next to me that said he was here at 12 p.m. and he's barely hitting the dock. And it depends on the customer base. Sometimes they're going to take a lot of hours, like 6 to 8 hours, and that's an outrageous time, for some of us truck drivers. We want to get down the road and get those miles. And it is important what customer base a company has, because that can make or break your paycheck. So just to reiterate, team driving, you come into team driving to make money. And if you're sacrificing your sleep, your time, your energy, being away from home, from your family, all those things can weigh on your mind. And, if you're going to be a team driver, you want to get paid for it. And if a company does not have a strong customer base, and if you are waiting just hours and hours too often, then you're going to find yourself not getting the miles or the pay that you want. So I hope that this is helpful. I'm being honest in my personal experience team driving. Another thing that I have noticed team driving with Pride is that they choose team drivers to save loads. And that could be good and that can be bad depending on how you look at it. I know that we are to put the customer, at the forefront, and to make sure that they are getting the customer service that they need. So I have no complaint against that. Now, when you're choosing specific drivers, especially team drivers, to go save a load, to do only a 200-300 mile run, and then that affects, the mileage of the team drivers for the week, because now you have to maybe wait too long to get load, wait too long to get unloaded, and then wait again to get another load for a long haul to get the miles that you want. Now, I have seen that, quite a few times here in my experience, and I feel that they should minimize that a lot more, because team drivers, again, do not come to team drive to get loads like that. We want loads that are more long haul, less wait time, and that's why the truck is constantly moving, so that the drivers can benefit from the miles, and so that customers and so that the company can benefit from that turnaround time. So again, I can't speak for all team drivers out here, but this is my personal experience. And I think that, again, customer base is highly important. If you have quality customers where you're not putting the driver through a lot of wait time, and even if detention is paid, that only makes up a portion of what a driver could have got in miles down the road for the day. It pays a lot more. And again, I'm not just cherry picking. This is just my personal experience, what is going on out here at team driving. Again, solos do get about 2,500 to 3,000 miles per week, so that's not too bad, but I cannot speak for solos and what they're personally going through. And again, they start out at 57 CPM for solos, and it's good if you are just coming in. And of course, if you're getting to the year mark, you may have some better options where your CPM could be a lot higher. In a prior video, I do talk about my orientation experience, how great and friendly the people are at Pride Transport, how streamlined the process was, and that was a good experience that I love speaking about. You can go watch that video in my experience in orientation. If you have some more specific questions, put them in the comments. I respond to the comments, I read the comments, and I do take those seriously, because I learn from your questions out here in the trucking industry of what's on your mind as a truck driver, or what you may be looking for as a truck driver. We're in this together in this industry. We help each other out. So if you're finding this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Survivor Truck Talk.